Hello friends, welcome to CSS tutorial. In this video, we are going to see how to use the class selector. So in the previous example, we learned about the type selector. We know that type selector will select a specific type. Simply speaking, it will select a specific HTML element. If you want to apply same rule to multiple HTML element, you can separate the selector with the comma. So previously we saw how we applied same rule for h1, h2, h3 tag. So all the tags were separated by comma. Suppose if we want three types of tag style for h1 tag itself. Previously we applied same rule for h1, h2, h3. So we specified the selector with comma, right? So here we want to apply different style to same h1 tag itself. So in that case, type selector won't help. Of course, you can use separate selector h1, h2, right? Here you can specify rule for h1 and h2. So h1 and h2 will have different rule. But what if you want to have different style for h1 itself? So that's where the class selector will come into picture. Suppose if we want three types of tag style for h1 tag itself, type selector won't help here. Why? Because here you can specify a rule for a specific tag, right? For h1 itself, it's not possible to specify three different styles. So one should rely on class selector on this case. A HTML tag can specify style rule via class attribute. Suppose if this is your HTML and let's state that you are specifying a h2 tag, you can make use of class attribute. Here you can specify the style. Say for example, my style. This is the class we are specifying. And for h2 itself, you can specify a different class. See, if you see h1, but the class here is my style and the second h2 tag uses your style. That means we can define two different style and apply to same tag or same tag type. Here, to make use of class selector, you have to use the dot f color. So here the dot notation specifies the class, so it can be applied for any tags. If for example paragraph class equal to f color. So that's how the HTML will make use of this specific style selector. So usually the selector is here. The dot notation specifies the class name, I mean the class, and f color specifies the class name. And here we applying some color style or color rule for this specific style. So here in the HTML, if you see, the tag here is h1, but h1 tag is making use of the class equal to f color. That means rule 1 is applied to this h1 tag. Similarly, h2 tag, it doesn't have any class attribute, so it will be rendered in the default H2 style. And for paragraph, we specify color, class as fcolor. So the rule 1 is applied to the content of this paragraph. Next, we have unsorted list, and we specify fcolor class attribute for this. So the rule is applied to all these child elements, right? Next, if you see here, we are using one more class attribute. This time we state that the class attribute what we are expecting is AR bold because of this dot AR bold. So that's the class equal to AR bold, but the tag is P. That means here we are stating that select all the paragraph which contains the class attribute AR bold. So if your HTML contains multiple paragraph, it will pick all the paragraph which contains this specific class attribute, then applies the style rule 2. So style rule 1 defines the color, right? Style name, style value, here font family, Arial black. And if you see in our example, there is one paragraph which uses AR bold. So here style rule 2 will be applied. Since dot fcolor is specified for this paragraph, the second paragraph make use of rule 1 and this paragraph make use of style rule 2. Alright, now let's go to the demo. Alright, now we will create the files. First we create the HTML, then we will create the CSS. So you can see we have h1 tag with class attribute specified here, and there are 3 tags which is making use of the class attribute. One is h1 and another one is p tag. You can see where and all we are using the class attribute because of this highlight. So there are 3 tags which is using the class attribute fcolor, and there is one class which is using the AR bold attribute, but the tag should be P. Alright, now we will go to the CSS selector. Here if you see, we specified 2 styles. So this is fcolor, and that's what here we are stating, class equal to fcolor. There are 3 that is using this fcolor, and there is one tag that is using the AR bold, and here we specified that this class attribute should be used in this tag P. So the tag is P with the attribute AR bold. So that's the selector here. Here this is applicable to any tag, and if you see, the fcolor is used by the h1 tag, p tag, as well as ul tag. There are 3 type of tag that is using this fcolor attribute, class attribute. But for AR bold, we restricted that only if the paragraph tag is using the class attribute AR bold, apply this rule. Alright, now let us see how this blue color as well as AR black font family is applied to the attributes. let us do save all and run the file. So now you can see that blue color is applied to H1 because it uses F color. Then the paragraph that uses the blue color and the bulleted list here uses the F color attribute. And heading 2, if you see, that is displayed in normal style. So whatever browser defaults to H2 tag, that is shown here. And for this specific paragraph, we specified a different style. So if I go to file, CSS, Arial black is the style we applied. So that specific paragraph is appearing in Arial black font. So that's all here. Now you have an idea of how to use the class attribute. And as already told, if you want to apply H1 with different style, you can use the class selector here. H1 style 1 define the rule, and H1 style 2, H1 style 3. Likewise, you can define multiple style tag and with a different class attribute and define the rule. So you will get different style for the same tag. That means for H1. So the HTML, when it is using, it will uses the specific class element to have a different style for the same tag. So H1 class equal to style 1 to get the style 1 attributes. H1 class equal to style 2. That means it will pick rules defined in style 2 selector. Right? That's all with the class selector. Thank you for watching. Bye.